Just like other developing countries, rabies is a big problem in Ghana. And we have to make sure that we do some curbing on the spread. And so Ghana's veterinary service is considering apparently the introduction of a contraceptives for stray dogs in an attempt to combat rabies in the country. The head of Public Health and Food Safety Division of the Veterinary Services, Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto, says the move will also help curb the rise of rabies deaths and cases in the country.
Dogs are the main source of human rabies deaths, contributing up to 99% of all rabies transmissions to humans. Although vaccinating dogs is the most cost-effective strategy for preventing rabies in people, Dr. Kikimoto says the idea to use contraceptives for stray dogs will help the fight against rabies.
I've realized there are a lot of stray dogs in Ghana, which we call community dogs. They have owners, but they are just left to be roaming around. And sometimes when we even carry out mass vaccinations, those particular dogs are not vaccinated because nobody brings them for vaccination. So one of the things that we are thinking as a strategy is to introduce dog contraceptives. These ones are tablets which have been used in Florida to control, wild animals population, to stabilize the ecosystem. Once we adopt that, all those dogs which don't have houses to sleep, they just roam around in groups, we can insert the pill in bread or tinapa or kinky and throw it to them. They will eat it like food. But when they cross, then they cannot give birth.
Every year, more than 15 million people worldwide receive a post-bite vaccination. This is estimated to prevent hundreds of thousands of rabies deaths annually. Dr. Kikimoto said people are usually infected following a deep bite or scratch from an animal with rabies. He advised the public to visit the nearest health facility when bitten by dogs, even if the dogs are vaccinated against rabies.
It doesn't develop very early, but at the later stages, you see there is a nervous problem. So you will be fearing light, like this light on me. I cannot watch the light. I cannot drink water. I'll do like I have epilepsy, salivating, and incoordination. Finally, it paralyzes your whole system, and then it leads to heart arrest. So these are the final stages of rabies. And when it happens like that, within 3 days, by all means, you will die. Nobody survives when the disease has reached the brain. No. Any dog that bites you, whether it's vaccinated or not vaccinated, still, because vaccination, they can even be vaccination failure. So it's always better you visit the nearest veterinary clinic or hospital, and also go to the human hospital for first aid and other things before we check on the dog to see whether it has rabies, before you can even undergo the post-exposure prophylaxis of injection of the vaccine, human vaccine or the immunoglobulin.
As the world marks World Rabies Day, Aku Ampa, a dog owner, sent his dog over to the office of the veterinary services. He was expecting that his dog would receive vaccination for free.
I didn't know myself that it was a World Rabies Day. My uncle called me and told me it's a World Rabies Day, but they say it's free for bringing them today. But I got here only to be told. It looks like even the doctor or nurse in charge is not even aware of what I'm saying. So she has to call, I think, the head of their department to find out. And she explained it to us, we were about 3 when I came. So she explained it to us that they bought their medicine. They didn't know that today is worth anything for what they call it, dogs. And moreover, they use money in buying it. So because of that, they will take 7 cedis for each person. But normally, they take 20 Ghana for. On a normal day when you come, you pay 20 Ghana.
Caring for pets can be quite expensive, sometimes from feeding, grooming to vaccination. But Aku says he doesn't spend much catering for the dog.
Normally, I deworm them. It's the deworming that I normally do almost every 2 to 3 months. I deworm them. So that one, normally a dewormer for like one dog maybe costs like 10 to 15 cedis to deworm them. Yeah, but apart from that, I do almost everything myself. I bath them, everything I do it myself. So I don't really, how am I going to say, put in much. I do everything all myself. I love dogs, so it doesn't matter what kind of dog. So far as I own it, I have to be prepared to spend on it. My mother always fights me with dogs, but that is one thing I like. In fact, animals, I like animals. So no matter whether local, foreign, I have local, I have foreign dogs. No matter whether local dog, I always spend on them.
This year's theme is Rabies, 0 by 2030.
Residents of Bonoso in the Mampong municipality are struggling to access health care and other basic needs. Sick persons have to travel long distances on bicycles and in some instances on foot to access medical care. JoyNews Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin visited the community and now reports.
It is about 10:30 a.m. on a normal day here at Bonoso, a predominantly farming community. Madam Jamila is preparing food for the family. Not far from her house is a group of mourners grieving over the loss of a relative and friend. Mohammed Garba died a few weeks ago due to what members of the community are convinced was unavailability of ready proper medical care.
Though God can save lives, but if we had a clinic here, probably my brother would not have died.
Women who delivered babies on their way to the hospital are more than 10. Many more have died just because there is no health center here.
The route to Bonoso from the main Kumasi-Ejura-Yeji road is deplorable. The nearest health facility to them can be found either at Asante Mampong or Ejura, depending on which faster means of transport is available. The motorcycle is the most preferred option to get a patient to the hospital, or they risk dying.
If a child is sick in the night, we would have to wait till the next day. If the condition is worsening, we are being compelled to look for a motorbike to take us to Mampong.
If your child gets sick and you are not lucky, he or she may die due to lack of public transport. Sometimes pregnant women in labor get complications on their way to the hospital. Please come and complete the KIPS compound for us.
Vehicles hardly ply this bumpy road, which is hell, especially for motorists. Only tractors and other farm machinery frequent the community.
The road is in bad shape. Even if we get a vehicle, it cannot come here sometimes. Unless you get a motorbike to carry the person to Mampong. But this always worsening health conditions of the sick person. It is not like a vehicle where the person can take a rest till you get to the hospital.
We arrived at Bonoso just after.
Lands and Natural Resources Minister John Peter Amu has announced there will be an extension of the ban on illegal and small-scale mining. Government ordered all illegal and small-scale miners to halt work in order to streamline their activities in an effort to sanitize the industry and also protect the environment. John Peter Amu says the ban will not be lifted because initial assessment shows that only 15% of the set target had been achieved. The minister also says small-scale mining licenses secured during the latter part of last year will no longer be recognized because the processes of issuance were haphazard. Mr. Peter Amu, in the run-up to all this period, said up to 70% of small-scale miners would have to secure new certificates if they want to remain in business. The minister made this known during an inspection of a concession owned by Canada, Ghana and Alaska Mining Company in the Amenfi East District of the Western Region.
At this stage, For me, I don't think that it's proper for us to say go back. No, we cannot do that. And they themselves know. They know all those guys who are fighting for this, they are just few in the society. There are few of them. The millions of Ghanaians downstream, Accra, Kumasi, and other places who are suffering. Precisely, of course, there's going to be extension because we haven't achieved what we're looking for. But we put in modalities, and during the extension period, a lot will be done. We're talking about regularizing the whole system. As for the small-scale licenses that are existing already, well, pronouncement will be made because most of them are not going to be recognized. If they are not going to recognize, then it means you should begin to make effort of coming for new registration.
Meanwhile, some residents of Modaso are accusing the mining firm of defying the ban on small-scale mining. But the managing director of CNG Alaska Mining Company, Emmanuel Donadentry, denies this claim. He tells JoyNews Latif Idris those making the allegations are illegal miners who have been denied access to the concession to carry out illegal mining activities.
CNG has never undertaken illegal mining, and we will not do that. The records are there to speak to it. Okay? So it's our responsibility. That's why we are spending all the money, equipment, and what have you to reclaim it. We had the lease in December. We are not mining. All we are doing now is reclamation of the land, and that's what we were authorized to do. So we are not doing anything bad or illegal.
However, licensed small-scale miners are unhappy about the Minister for Natural Resources claim or announcement to extend the ban on illegal mining. The Secretary of the Prestia Honi Valley Small-Scale Miners Association, Nuhu Mohammed Mustafa, described the decision as unfair. He tells JoyNews extending the ban will only aggravate the difficulties the licensed firms were already facing.
It is not fair. For me, that is what I see. It is not fair. The ministers should come again. At least let's allow those who have valid licenses to work. And those who doesn't have licenses, we have to help them to acquire licenses. It is very simple. What work are we going to do? Ex-President Rawlings, his minister signed licenses. Former President, former minister signed a license. Atamel's minister signed a license. Muhammad's minister also signed a license. So if he's saying all those licenses are not valid, but it is unfortunate. So they should go ahead because it simply means our mistake was to work hard and bring them to power. That is all what they are telling us, that we made a mistake of bringing them to power. At least they should do such a consideration. It doesn't matter all those difficulties. At least we are human beings. We can be advised instead of strengthening the whole miners within this country. At least that is not fair. I would suggest they should give those who don't have licenses, they should find all means to give them licenses.
Now, the president of the National House of Chiefs, Togbi Akwede the 14th, says government must build strong trade cooperations with foreign countries to attain its objectives of making Ghana a country beyond foreign aid, adding it is only through such alliances that Ghana could also achieve the status and join the ranks of developed nations. Togbi Akwede, who is also the Agbagbomafia of the Asogli state, made this known when the Danish ambassador to Ghana paid a courtesy call on him in his palace in Ho to officially inform him of a planned visit of the Queen of Denmark, Queen Margaret II.
Togbi Akwede, who was flanked by his divisional and sub-divisional chiefs, commended Denmark for its continued support and contribution towards poverty reduction and growth of Ghana. Togbi Akwede expressed delight with support of the two countries to strengthen bilateral relations, advising Ghana must start nursing strong trade relations with foreign partners to attain a developed country status.
Trade cooperation is a way forward for the development of our country. You have shown so much interest in poverty reduction programs of our country. So the objective of Her Majesty's visit is quite consistent with what you have stood for all this time. We have transitioned from low-income to middle-income country. So the way forward indeed for us is to have more trade, more development as a way of making further progress, maybe, hopefully, as designed by our government and our people, enter the ranks of the developed countries of this world. Of course, it can only happen if we promote trade relations.
He reiterated that chiefs in the country are cooperating with government to champion development in their respective jurisdiction and make chieftaincy relevant.
In our country, essentially doing what we chiefs want to see done, but I also look up to us to further the cause of development that will bring jobs, incomes, enhance living standards. That is their aspiration. And from the National House of Chiefs to the regional House of Chiefs, the national councils, to the village chiefs, there's a growing awareness among us that if we have to remain relevant, if chieftaincy has to survive, it has to be relevant to the needs of the people. It has to address the needs of the people. And the most important need, of course, is development. So there is a growing orientation among the chiefs.
The Danish ambassador disclosed that the royal visit is significant to the relationship between the two countries since it will mark the transition from development cooperation to trade cooperation between Ghana and Denmark.
We have heard we have a very special task. We are now preparing Her Majesty Queen Margaret II, Denmark's visit to Ghana. This is a very important visit for us, and we also believe for the relations between Denmark and Ghana. Our Queen has never been to West Africa before, so this is a very important and great experience for her and for her royal court. She's been studying the history and the traditions and the culture of Ghana, and the Queen remarked that she was looking so much forward to go to Ghana and experience the rich culture of Ghana.
Queen Margaret II of Denmark is scheduled to be in Ghana for a 2-day official visit in November. This will be her first visit to West Africa, for that matter Ghana. Fred Kwame Asari's report for JoyNews.
Well, and that's it for the latest roundup of news tidbits we have in the studio this morning. We'll have a lot more news. We'll be looking at the newspapers and do a review of the various online portals. I'll be joined by Mamavio Swamboaji very soon. But we leave you with this, and we know that Prayer will be headlining on one of the lead artists for the upcoming Adum Praise. And that's going to take place this Friday. We hope that you'll be there. And it's going to take place at the Perez Dome already. The tickets are on sale just for a cool 50 Ghana cedis. Make sure that you also join us there, as we also bring you others also by the Marvin's Group, and it is for our Nigerian audience and those of us who love all the good things about Nigeria, because on Sunday they mark their 57th independence anniversary, and please, it's a double whammy for all of you out there, my Niger brothers and sisters. We hope that you enjoy this as well. But this one is from Prayer. Will also be part of the Adum Praise 2017 is going to take place at the Perez Dome this Friday, October 6, 2017. The tickets are already on sale, front decks of Joy FM and other outlets, but make sure that you stick and stay. We're still right here.